Hello,
Danny DeVito.
Internet! I hope you're all ready to have
DeVito,
your day
naked
reduced
with
to
a
a
Subway
smoldering
sandwich in
cinder
front of
pile
his
of shit. Because it's 7 p.m., I'm Sneaky Devil, these assholes are here, we got amazing stories of fucking awfulness for you, and this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9001.
Sneaky, what the fuck is chrono down is due?
Oh, Kron is my countdown timer.
Chrono down is due, though. That's all I see on the top
That's
right.
because I only gave it so much space because I only needed a couple numbers up there, and so when it displays Kron is down, it kind of like, goes over that space that I set for it.
So it's supposed to be chrono down is down, but it just says due.
Kron down is done. It's what it's supposed to say.
Why not just get rid of down and just say chrono is down?
I don't set the automated message, dude. That's
because
just part of the program.
Because if it said Chrono is down, everyone would think they've arrived to a Chrono Trigger stream.
Anyway,
we could do that. I bet.
So anyway,
Maybe.
as always, do not contact the authors we feature here unless they specifically say to contact them, at which point we can't encourage you to do anything other than what the author wishes. So, the starting story for today will be...
Okay, actually, hold on, Sneaky. I feel like we
Valkyria.
should stop the show,
What?
because there's something much more important going on.
Oh, what's that?
Slacks is playing Sea of Thieves.
Okay, well, we can always watch that later.
Can we stream us
Just
streaming Slacks?
rehost. Just go ahead and rehost Slacks.
We are able to rehost Slacks, but we are not doing that.
No, Sneaky. I mean, you just pull the stream up on your channel and we just comment on that.
Max wants to picture this.
Oh, I apologize, Death Gun. Were you not aware what I do to start my streams off?
Oh my god, you just made someone's ears bleed, didn't
No,
you?
according to Death Gun, I just made him shit himself.
Good job, Sneaky.
He must not have seen very many of the streams, because I know he's been here before, but this must be his
It's not like that's a secret.
Yeah, no, he's come in once or twice, but it's always been like halfway into the stream.
He's never been here at the beginning.
He's never been here for the beginning.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yes. So anyway, this is Zerg Swarm Empress, a StarCraft Valkyria Chronicles crossover. Max, I'll be leaning on you heavily for this because I think you're the only one here that's beaten that game.
Well, if it's the first game, I have beaten that.
I haven't beaten the first one. Sneaky, the first one keeps getting knocked down on the list because of shit like Persona 5 and Horizon Zero Dawn coming out when I get near the end of my RPG list.
I rely on you for one thing, to play really obscure Japanese games. And you can't even do that right.
Sneaky, it's okay. I have played the game.
Good. Like, the only thing I know about this game really is that there's an adorable baker girl turned soldier and a woman who looks like she probably should see a doctor about the things attached to her chest.
You are correct on both counts, and let me tell ya, don't get attached to Baker Girl.
Oh.
Protoss, purity of form. Zerg, purity of essence. Making sure I have the correct banner up is the purity of me. Anyway. But what if there was a third race? What if the third race was the purity of will?
Is this
so
just
a
anti-mage?
crappy version of the Protoss.
Is this just anti-mage now?
Yes. Earth, year 2010. A young girl that's totally not a self-insert awakens to her new power as a Valkyrie. But draws the eyes.
But I have bad news for you, author. Valkyria Chronicles doesn't take place on Earth. It takes place on something very close to Earth, but it's not Earth because they wanted to be able to make a World War I story without making a World War I story.
Yeah,
and combine it with World War II.
They also probably wanted to get away from that.
I would also like to point out the author used possessive form of draws, so I don't know what the draw is possessing. But it's a singular draw possessing something with a singular eye possessing of the Zerg.
That is correct.
How does the iron will and self-determination of one girl shape the fate of a galaxy? And maybe save it from an ancient evil waiting to be set free?
I don't know, and we'll never find out because we'll be done with this story after the first chapter.
Also,
Unless
I
we
would like to
it.
point out that relying on a young pre-pubescent or post-pubescent girl to save the galaxy based on her iron will and determination is a very poor choice.
Okay, but it worked out just fine for the Gundam universe. It's worked out just fine for the Gundam universe, like, what, like 10 times?
That's
not...
Yeah,
that is not
Zach.
a good comparison.
Zach,
That's bad.
that's
Shit
a-
goes wrong.
No.
It worked for Sailor Moon. Whoa! No, it did not work for Sailor Moon. A lot of people died for that ending.
Oh, a lot of people died.
Fucking worked for Sailor Moon. No.
It did
I mean,
not work out.
Technically, you did get the good ending.
The good
But
ending
only
just also
technically.
happened to include genocide. Just a smidgen of it.
Just a bit of genocide.
Just sprinkle a wee little bit of genocide on the top, Zach.
God fucking damn it.
Worm? Do you know what happens at the end of Worm, my dude?
Worm is not a good ending.
Literally the entire premise of Worm is how bad of an idea it is to stake the future of a world on a teenage girl.
Well, that and how bad it is to stake the entire development of a world based purely on rolling 20-sided die.
I mean, yeah, that too, but...
Like, theoretically, that could have had a like super upbeat tone and ending, or a super upbeat tone and suddenly grimdark ending, or vice versa.
Oh, fucking, according to WoW, though, this story of Taylor could have ended at the Leviathan fight. And he would have picked up from Aegis from there.
Anyway.
If we're talking endings, JoJo Part 6. Nose hair, can you confirm?
Fuck you.
I will take that as a yes.
Part 6 ending is fucking... Akari... You know what? It's a good ending, but I hated it. Let's just say that.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, let's get on with this.
Mostly because there's some real ass pull in there. Like, you thought part 3 was asshole?
No, I don't, because I've never watched JoJo's bizarre waste of time.
I am using this
JoJo's
fuck you.
Waste of time.
I will take the
10 out of 10.
I just love saying stuff like that because it never fails to get you too mad.
I mean, if we're talking about JoJo here, Jesus was
Max,
really
just
the
ignore
first
him.
JoJo.
Just ignore him.
You shut the fuck up about that stupid bullshit. That alone is going to keep me from watching JoJo ever.
What's the matter?
I am not going to watch Blasphemy.
It's not blasphemy.
Wait.
Jesus is the good light.
Wait, no, hang on. Who told him about the Jesus body parts?
Tumblr
I don't know who
did.
did.
Tumblr did.
Oh boy.
No, for real, I refuse to watch Blasphemy.
Okay, Kill. Whoa, Kill. Look, hold on there, Kill. Do not. I watched Ruby on a stream for the purpose of money. You cannot come at me with that shit. Okay, fuck
he's
you.
got you there. He's got you there. I told you that was a
good
mistake.
game.
What the fuck happened?
At least I don't play Sow games.
If that was supposed to be poking at me and Ad, we don't give a shit. Those games are like average.
What happened? I missed it.
Sneaky replied, at least we don't. He doesn't play Sow games. It's like, okay.
I've only
Your
played the
choice.
one. I've only played Fatal Bullet, and like I said, that game, I was disappointed in that game because it could have been a great game, and instead it only ended up being mediocre.
Yeah, it's like it's a solid 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
Like, just
like
barely
it could have
above
been like
average.
a 7 or an 8.
It's not an F, but it's barely above average.
Anyway,
Technically,
so
you pass.
Honestly, Atin,
Technically.
I would have honestly, Atin, I feel like you'd have given that game like a 7 to an 8 if it wasn't for the Kirito mode and all the complaints I received from you concerning Kirito mode.
Oh no! My complaints were there long before, but Kirito mode was just the icing on the shit.
Okay,
on the
Kirito
shit
mode
souffle.
lost it like the 1/2 point that would have made it a 6.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
no,
going to
it,
assume
like,
Kirito mode
like,
is
like it had already been losing points because like the loot gets repetitive, the character system isn't explained, skills don't really matter.
Well, actually, on the subject of the SAO anime, because this is one of the funny things. It's like part 1 of season 1, good watch. I could stand to watch that a couple more times. Then the rest of it happens. Part 2 of
I
season
have
1
no
and
idea
part
what
1
the
of season.
modes. I don't play SAO games, like I said.
Okay, I don't.
No.
I'm talking.
Isley's asking what Kirito mode it is, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh, well, what is it at? And you can play through the original Gun Gale story.
Oh no, it's not even that. It is
Oh.
literally
Just play as Kirito.
You play as Kirito for 2 AI fights, and then you fight Death Gun in one of the most shenanigans boss fights I've ever had to deal with. That
And
I
you played
beat.
Dark Souls.
Yes. No, Max, the sole reason I beat that stupid fucking mode was because it was bullshit. And I refused to be beaten.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, we should get back to the story.
No,
we should get back to the story. So
No,
I
we
just
shouldn't.
want to point out that this is the index. So they decided to put a legend in here, right? They decided to put a legend in here so we know when people are thinking, talking, and shouting. So
and we appreciate that.
Normal talking is apparently when they fuck up on grammar. Shouting is when they caps lock, and telepathy is like talking, except they didn't fuck up the grammar.
I guess, which is not that's not a good.
That's not how that works.
Anyway, Chapter 1, Awakening Part 1, the Prologue. January /6/2010 Wednesday 8:32 a.m.
No, that's how you spell Wednesday.
Yeah.
I know.
Also, they just gave the date in the They just gave the date in the format that the rest of the world that isn't America.
I'm aware.
Well, the rest of the world actually puts the day first.
Or yeah, they gave the format in the American way, just not the way the rest of the world does. Because America wants to be different. That's why we still use Fahrenheit. Because Fahrenheit's better.
What the fuck is this?
This triggers my freedom.
This?
I'm trying, Sneaky. I read it and I'm trying real
Cold,
hard not to keep reading.
Darkness, emptiness, no heat. That is what
Jesus
cold implies. Yes. No light. That is what darkness implies. Yes. Alone. That's what emptiness implies. Floating in an empty void. I assumed that from everything else.
Hey, you know what? She could have been floating in the sun. Why? I don't know, and it wouldn't make any sense.
I mean,
but I really expect
it
nothing
would
else
make
from
more
this office
sense
at
if
this
they were
point.
Superman.
That's true.
He does that occasionally.
Okay, kill.
When Superman gets sick
keep
of
this shit
everybody's
off the
bullshit,
chat
he
stream.
goes to
Take
the
it to
sun.
DMs if you're gonna start this again.
Yep.
No, yeah.
I will mute both of you
Yeah, I
if
was
you
gonna say,
start shit in the chat.
it is very hard for us to kick people from this chat and time them out, but if you start that, we will.
The guy complains that his house.
Like,
doesn't have
guys,
a
please don't
refrigerator.
start shit.
Where am I? Who am I? Wow, this is I'm not. Wait. Where am I? Space question mark ellipses. How do you even say that? Where am I? Pause.
We're gonna have to dig
No.
deep into the
Okay,
Shatner
no.
for this one.
Okay, hang on. Like the ellipses thing after question mark, I've seen that in like professional novels.
I'm not yelling at you.
I'm used to that. I'm not used to the space between the last word and the punctuation, though.
Who am I? My name. What was it? Look,
That's how the legend is supposed to be written. Sneaky's reading it accurately.
I
Actually,
am
no.
reading it as accurately as possible.
That's a sad part, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at this. This is some.
Why are there ellipses after the punctuation?
No, like I said, I've seen that before. It's just very odd the way he's doing punctuation in general. Wait, is there a space between? No, there's not. Okay,
Like,
it's like
I realized
between
I was
ellipses.
I personally was joking when I was talking about the legend that normal speech is just grammar that's fucked up. But it seems the author is sticking to the legend.
I mean, I commend them for making a legend and sticking to it.
I feel like they shouldn't get points for that.
Oh,
We will give what few points we are able,
can't
but
remember something Len. That's right. I am Ellen. I'm a Darksen, and my grandparents were Patrick and Iskla Backer, and they immigrated to America from Gallia after World War II. Nina, my grandmother, was born in the U.S., and in 1982 she married an army officer, Maxwell Reed May father. There is no period!
What is going on here?
Why?
I need to get water. I need to get water for this, because I feel a rant coming.
I was born in January space
Don't
slash
you
1990
fucking dare,
slash.
you cunt.
Why
What
are
the
you
fuck did you do?
ending the use with the slash?
Sneaky Kilm is informing you that this is how all his future chapters will be written now. He wishes to emulate this author's writing style.
All right, where's the ban button? Where is it?
I don't
Where is
know.
Where is it? Sneaky, let me ban people.
It's
Goddammit.
the evolution of the English language. I am so upset right
Get
now.
ready for it! Get ready for it! My eyes are green. I have dark blue hair. Nazism avoided. Everyone dab. I stand 5, feet 5, inches, comma.
What did you just say a moment ago?
Nazism avoided. Everyone dab.
I really wish I could ban you, honestly.
We could like mute his mic and let him talk to himself on stream, but that's all we can do.
Oh, it gets one better. I can server mute you.
Yeah, and I can also ban you.
True.
Like it's things like, yeah, sure, you could server mute him, but
He can
in
just
the end, he still
unmute
wins.
himself.
Like,
I'm 20 years old. My name is Ellen Reed. There's the period. I'm so glad we started this paragraph with a fucking quotation mark, put no ending quotation mark at any point, filled it with commas, and called it a day. Also, the next paragraph is bracket, quote, bright flash, end quote, bracket. If you can't tell, I am immensely irritated right now.
I think we realized that. Are you gonna be okay, Sneaky?
I hope he's soon enough.
is that the sound of alcohol I just heard?
I think so, lads.
Oh boy. At least he didn't start before the stream this time.
Oh, he started before the stream last time?
My day was actually amusing this time.
Yeah, Tuesday he came in drunk.
I can actually talk about this one. So I had a caller today that decided in the middle of his call he was going to go straight to infomercial mode. And started talking about this website that if I go there now with a simple payment of $9.99, I can have a super hyper athletic body formula that will increase my lifespan by 15 years.
Let me get this straight. He tried to sell to a government facility.
Yes.
Where can I hire this man for whatever I want to do? That man has some balls. I'll take him.
No, fuck that. How do I apply to work for him? If I can make money doing that, I'll do it.
What, just sell shit to the government?
No, just getting paid to do fucking shit post calls like that.
Hey, White, let me write my dumb story as a screenplay, but let's also fuck it up through immense idiocy.
Alright, I took enough time to snort all the cocaine I had stolen from Sonic Team. Let's get this show on the road.
Oh, it took you that long?
Dude, I took it all from Sonic Team. There was like 17 bricks.
Ah, I see. Understandable then.
I will admit, I like Tito's way more than this shit. Yeah.
Have you just been drinking this entire time?
Yes.
Why did you not stop him? Either of you!
Honestly, because it's funny.
I'm sorry. Since when did I master the ability to punch people through the internet?
Can I have some of that?
Since you started beating me with Burning Gundam.
It's not how that works.
You're punching me through the internet.
Yes, but he's
Because I
punching
have
an
the
avatar
game.
of you. We can't actually punch Sneaky until they invent
Technically,
VR.
I'm not wrong, Max.
The dark blue-haired girl opens, possessive form her eyes, possessive form blinking from the sunlight. The young dark skin made mind still fuzzy, staring up at ceiling for a few moments, collecting her thoughts before slowly sitting up, examining her room. One window to her left with a chair in the corner by it. Two doors, one small bathroom, the other opposite hallway window, the beeping heart monitor with beside the bed along with IV drip on metal pole in her right arm. The metal pole's in her right arm?
What?
What?
Apparently the metal pole is in her right arm.
Before removing the IV drip, wait, what part's in her
A
right?
beeping heart monitor beside the bed, capital word along with the IV drip on a metal pole in her right arm.
But yeah, there's no metal pole.
There's a metal pole in her right
No.
arm.
No, the IV drip is in her arm. You know
No,
this.
the
problem is, I
IV drip
think-
is on a metal pole. The metal pole's in her arm.
No. Oh wait. Oh, you're right.
English!
Yeah. No, because like the IV drip is not what goes in your arm. It's the IV. The IV drip.
No, it's not even the IV. It's a needle. It's a needle that goes in
pole
your
is
arm.
in her arm.
But that's what it is. Like the IV needle. Like that is shortened to just the IV.
Okay, yes.
The drip itself is what it's applying. Oh God.
Calvin, gentlemen, we can rebuild her. We have the technology.
You get out of here, Calvin.
I'm not even mad about that. That's funny.
You know what? Well done.
I want to know, like, are we rebuilding her to be the ultimate field nurse? Is that what's going on? That's why she comes all
She
with a
just
heart
has an
monitor and
IV
IV drip.
in her arm.
Wait,
No, we're
wait,
gonna rebuild
wait.
her to be a tank.
No, hold on. The author is clearly building towards making her a nurse that is also a robotic maid. We're hitting all of the fanfiction tropes here, boys.
Oh, wait, have we somehow stumbled into the maid RPG? Is that
I didn't
what's gonna
realize
happen?
we were in Overlord
Yes.
already.
By the way, if
No,
you give if
I will
someone
not
gives us
run it.
$50,
No.
Ricky will DM
No.
us playing the maid RPG on stream.
No. I will not do that
Yes.
unless... Okay, you know what? Fine. If you guys pay me and I get extreme amounts of alcohol, sure, I'll run it. Fine.
You'll have
I'll
to
give
buy
you
the
10 bucks.
alcohol yourself.
I'll give you $10.
Oh boy.
Alright, you know what? I'll just put it to the fucking stream now. If I get like $100, I'll do it. I'll do a session.
No. Hang on.
Whoa.
100's unfair, mate.
Alright, fine.
Drop that
50.
down.
50.
There
50.
you go.
No,
And
Claire,
that does not include the price of alcohol, which will be around another 50.
Bonus
No.
achievement.
You're paying for your own booze.
Bonus achievement
No,
at
fuck you.
150. Atin will dress like a maid and go on camera.
No. Not unless... If you join me, I will. But you have to do it too.
You have to go full trap, Atin.
I mean,
I immediately
I
refuse.
assume you know
No,
all about
you know
that,
what?
so I'll just get your
I-
help.
No, we're not doing that. I refuse to do that.
You don't have to see it.
I'm glad we have people joining at this specific moment.
No, see, I don't
There's
need
not
to
a better
see
time
it.
to join. They might be the ones that pay us.
I'm in a hospital. Why? Ah, my head! Reaching for her head, Ellen recoils in surprise to see her arm is now a metal pole!
Oh, the horror! The unending horror!
Oh no.
Oh, poor Chrysanthemum just came back to us talking about traps.
Oh, you must be very confused.
Oh,
No. Cruel, you be quiet.
wow.
Cruel, shut up.
Oh,
Shut up. Cruel, shut up.
Sneaky, this is your fault.
I would
Hopefully
just
the
like to
stream knows by
remind
now not
everyone.
to trust him.
I would just like to remind everyone on my fanfiction profile, which is linked in the panels down below. I have a bio line that says, "You shouldn't believe everything you hear on the internet, especially if I have said it." That is something I have included since 2001 as a caveat to my existence.
And we appreciate it. Believe us.
Anyway. Her whole body was glowing a light blue, with a mix
Nikki,
of...
I need to interrupt you for a moment.
Yeah.
Zex has a very important question for Atin.
Okay.
Atin.
Can you turn invisible?
Yeah. Can you, Atin?
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta pull this up.
Can
With
you
a
turn
mix
invisible?
of
No, I
Nice.
cannot turn invisible. Why are you asking if I can turn invisible?
Oh, no, Zex wanted to know.
No, I'm asking sex. That's
With
what
a
I'm
mix
asking.
of surprise and curiosity, staring at her hands, possessive form, and for some moments, possessive form, before removing the IV strip and the heart monitor from her right arm. So they
Okay,
were in
so
her
they
arm.
are just
They
in her
are
arm.
just in her arm.
I don't even know anymore what the fuck is
There
going
was
on.
a heart
Okay.
monitor in her arm.
That chat's getting weird. Atin, are you a tsundere?
Yes,
What?
Atin,
I don't
Atin
fucking
is a
know.
100% a tsundere.
Shut your fucking poor mouth.
You want to read what Zex answered Atin? About turning invisible? Yeah.
No. No.
Wait,
I don't even
are
want to
you
be
fucking
peripherally
telling
associated
me?
with that
Are
degenerate.
you telling me Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer has written a fic about invisible traps?
Apparently?
And that you
Can I just say, I'm
proceeded
surprised
to
he didn't have
read
one
it?
already?
What the fuck have I done? Why did I agree to this?
Patton is now a tsundere trap.
God damn it, Sneaky. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Alright, here we go, boys.
I feel like Nosehair's gone for his alcohol. Remember, for the low price of $100, y'all can make this happen.
Oh god, you flinked it. Oh god.
Fuck. That
No.
actually is... Oh,
No,
God.
he did not.
Oh, God.
No, he linked it in Arn's server.
Mm. I don't
just-
know why I just
What
decided
is
to
wrong
chug
with
that.
you?
Everyone needs fortification juice now.
No. Damn it.
I don't know why I just decided to chug that. That was a dumb idea.
Not any
Look,
worse than
look,
the shit
no,
you
Ricky.
started.
Look, look, I have just flat out taken 4 shots just straight up in one go.
Oh, fuck.
I am about to feel
I'll
that in about 10 or so minutes.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, Kiln has finally completed our, I guess, like, group saga names. Saint Max, Atin Tsundere Trap, Sneak, and the only man who appreciates true art.
What am I
Okay,
drinking? I am drinking
so-
magical potato juice. It fortifies your liver.
So
That is
turns
is
up my RA.
not true.
Blatantly untrue.
My RA came knocking and was asking if I could just get something from outside, and
Well,
I
you
had to
better
hide the
fucking
bottle.
get it.
No, I had to hide the bottle. I'll be right back.
What, are you not allowed to drink?
No, he's on
No.
fucking campus. It's a dry campus.
What, they all are?
try. No, they aren't. My university allowed alcohol on campus as long as you were of age.
No,
Yeah.
my audience. You are not nameless mooks. You are the Snarktastic Squad. Don't think
we
I forgot
added
about
squad to the end of it.
that. Yes,
Wait, what happened to them
Awesome.
being figments of your imagination?
they are figments of my imagination.
They're the snarkastic figments.
They're the Snarktastic
no,
Squad.
okay, hold on a minute. That should just be assumed by default with anything coming from Sneaky's imagination.
Okay, hang on. Can we match that? They are the figments of the snarkastic squad.
Okay.
That work?
The figments of the Snarktastic Squad. By our powers combined, we form a large internet-based asshole!
Alright, I'm back.
Oh god.
What did I miss? I remember hearing Max saying something about my campus being dry, which is correct. I am in one of the few places that is dry because it has a stove.
Yes,
So-
And I wanted to cook more than a month
Sorry.
free.
No. No.
What did I just hear?
Wait,
Hello?
why is Nazi Germany in this Vic? Oh, good, because
No!
Galia.
Wait, no, the Germans shouldn't be in this.
No, this is a self-insert.
God fucking damn it.
What?
They're now
Valkyria
combining.
Chronicles, it's
They're
just like
combining
the
the
game.
pseudo history with real history.
No. Like, it's a self-insert who's like, oh yeah, it's just like Valkyria Chronicles, except, like, kind of worse.
Not-
Kind of
Wait,
better.
what the fuck is this? The room was small and only had a sink, mirror, toilet. In the mirror, the girl saw herself standing 5 feet, 6-inch Caucasian white skin.
No, Sneaky, that's wrong. That's 5 feet, 6 inches.
You're right.
Oh, you're right. It's 5 feet, 6 inches, possessive form, Caucasian white skin, green eyes, dark blue shoulder length. And now her body and even hair is glowing soft light blue. Looking closer, she sees the blue glowing is like a network running along her nerve system. Oh good! She unlocked her circuits!
And I thought the official translation for people like this was Valkyr. When did it become Valkyr?
Because the author...
It may have been in a different game, but as far as I know, it's just Valkyr.
Yeah,
God
the
fucking damn it.
author might have been dropped on the head a couple times. Thinking for minutes about how and why space question mark comma, then it hits her. Space period. Valkyria Chronicles. It's just like the game. Fucking end me, fam.
So the game exists, but so do the events of the game? What?
I guess it's supposed to be like
Alico is shot. Her Valkyrie powers awoken, and she
Also,
began
it's-
to
I think it's
glow
Alicia.
blue.
It's been a while since I played.
I know the game was based as fuck, at least partially, on what happened during World War II, when Gallia, the made-up country, was invaded by Nazi Germany.
The not made up country.
This is
But
some.
seriously, dot space dot space dot space dot space am dot IA Valkyrie.
This is
Stop
some.
off.
I am.
Ellen
This is some. I
fought
am
before
12 and I
being
go to 4chan
interrupted.
and think it's edgy levels of shit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, the nurse is kind enough to say knock knock.
Knock knock. Hello,
Okay,
ma'am.
some people
Are
say,
you
okay,
okay?
some people do in fact say that.
Space question
They
mark.
say it when the door's open, not when
period,
it's closed.
Space end quote.
Are you okay?
No!
You don't
No,
sound
I don't
okay.
think he is. I don't think he is, boys.
It's the Spanish Inquisition, only we're Nazis.
What
did
the
I
fuck?
did I really need to hear that?
Chat, what if we said about Nazi jokes?
To not see them coming?
Leave.
I'll fucking kill you.
You do not help this.
I guess you could say we're
No.
on a fast track.
Be very careful what you say next. Be very careful, Sneaky. I want you to dig deep into that shriveled, alcohol-poisoned brain of yours and find the last shreds of impulse control and grab hold of them.
Okay. I'm good. Fuck
You
this.
good?
Yep,
Sure?
I'm
You
good.
good now? You good now? Hmm?
Yep. Mhm.
Fucking join.
Okay, so if this self-insert character is on normal Earth, in which the Valkyr games were a game and not real life, then why are they also a dark skin? Or dark sen?
Darkson
Because
is
of diversity.
no, it's Darkson. It's like a race of slightly darker skinned but still white people in Valkyria Chronicles.
Okay, well, then why is she that? Because, Valkyr Chronicles is a game in this world.
Yeah, no, but it's a game. In this game, I believe it's like a historical video game, or at least partly,
Okay.
because it says Valkyria Chronicles. It's just like the game. Blah 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 blah. I know the game was based at least partially on what happened during World War II when Gallia was invaded by Nazi Germany.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, blah, 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 mental
Fuck is Zex trying to
visualization.
sign, like,
I'm sorry. Zex appears to be attempting to assign the yandere status to me for some reason.
Yeah, no, Max isn't a yandere, he's a saint.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty certain Max isn't murder crazy.
There is no dere to Max, there is only sainthood.
For putting up with Sneak.
And
I don't. That's a lot of pressure. Also, how much have you pissed off the Catholic Church that that's worthy of
Max,
sainthood?
you were literally so nice to someone, they gave you shit for free.
Shut up.
I mean, that just happens between people who are friends, dude.
No!
oh, that's the other thing. It's like,
That's the
I
thing,
even
though!
tried.
If he
No,
just
here's the thing.
donated money to this person because he heard they were having a tough time, and then they came back and they're like, hey, do you want free expensive art?
Oh, Sneaky, here's the other thing. I didn't tell you this. I actually did try to turn them down. They wouldn't
Max,
take
you're
no.
not helping your case for anti-sainthood!
Yeah, you're really not making it better.
Yeah,
for
like
yourself
that's
there,
pretty
buddy.
nice, dude. Good on you.
Here I am arguing you're a saint, and you're like, no, I'm not a saint. I tried to turn down their free artwork they tried to give me.
Dude, fucking. All right, you know what? You got a point. Not my brightest argument.
I mean, I don't really know why you're even offering the argument for not being a saint, honestly. Like, why are you annoyed at being a saint? Seems like a pretty good thing to be.
Because
Because
it's
the Pope
a.
has not
It
declared
is
him a
actively
saint.
heretical, for one thing. Like,
Well,
okay,
I mean,
okay, here's the problem: is that in the Catholic Church, people pray to saints. That is actual blasphemy.
Oh, that is super blasphemy.
heresy.
Yeah, isn't that idolatry or whatever it's called?
Yes.
Yes, that is idolatry. The other problem is that that's a lot of pressure because a lot of times the people given sainthood are legitimately good people, and that's a lot of fucking
Okay,
pressure.
whoa, are you saying you're not a legitimately good person?
Do you start like hobo bum fights on the weekend that we don't know about?
actually, yeah, he does.
Is
I
this
help organize them.
Yeah, Nosehair helps me set them up 3 times a
So
month.
that's how you have infinite money. You just run hobo bum fights.
Yeah,
Hey,
you gotta
listen.
bet on him too.
Listen, alright, look, each of them gets a 5% split because it's like 6 regulars, and the winner gets a 50% of the pot.
Yeah, and then we
Okay,
we
but how
take
many?
the
How often
we
do
take
they
the
die,
40%.
Max?
Kill Brace is a good point. You're fighting against being called a saint because you don't think you're a good enough person. You have literally failed your argument.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I should just go back to my fucking Gundam shows. Holy Max Force Batman, what the fuck? Okay, Calvin,
Anyway,
that's
blah blah
interesting.
blah. New York City, Jaeger Pharmaceuticals. 5 minutes later, ring brackets. Hello, I am male voice. Why did it say ring?
Because in this world, I don't know. You have to announce everything.
Apparently.
Nobody knows anymore.
Subject CV1 is awake. Are her powers confirmed? Richard Smith of CEO.
You okay there, Sneaky? You broken nose hair. Good job.
I need to read it in a real German accent. Sorry, I can only get into the mood of accents by saying really stereotypical shit, and I think I'll get kicked off Twitch for saying what I think is stereotypical for Germans.
actually Sneaky. I was going to suggest you do that though, because that's for some reason a legitimate way to get people to do accurate German accents. That was a tip.
Let's start
from
shouting
Lanny.
Nazi propaganda!
No!
No.
Do not start doing that!
Just mute your fucking mic if you have to.
This is verboten.
No!
sir?
Just no! Max, why are you encouraging his stupidity?
Sie verboten.
Max, that is like walking up to the pyromaniac and saying, I need you to wash this gas can and this lighter for me.
Because I
Don't do
trust
anything
him.
with them.
Okay, well, hang on. I'm not dumb enough to give him the lighter with the gas can. It's one or the other.
Max, you didn't just give him a lighter in the gas can. You bought him a flamethrower from Elon Musk.
Hey, whoa,
wanted
whoa,
it.
that is not a flamethrower. That is a long-distance temperature modulation device.
I don't care what it is. Max was dumb enough to give one to you.
I mean, it could be worse. I could have given him an actual flamethrower. And then we
Long
haven't figured it
distance
out. I
temperature
have.
modulation device.
You see, people, Max just proved he's not a saint. There, you want to prove he's not a saint? That's your proof he's not a saint. This entire conversation.
No, this is literally why he did it. So he's not a saint anymore. He threw
To
himself
prove
on.
I am not a saint, I will sin.
He threw himself upon the cross to die for our sins.
Oh, you stop right now.
No, I'm gonna make
I
you a
will
saint.
not. You listen here. I will not let you condone
Do
heresy.
you bear our sins upon your back, Max?
No. Shut your mouth. Can Nosehair unmute himself when I mute him?
I don't think he can.
Nosehair, try and unmute yourself.
I can unmute myself.
That took a while.
I didn't know I was muted, dude.
They say he is a moderator. If you are a moderator, unmute yourself.
Oh fuck!
And so
Come
the
on,
other,
you
the
set
other
that
me-
up, Max. You
the
set
other-
that up.
The other muted mod once said then to him, he shall not do it, for he is human like us. He shall not bring himself to our level. We deserve
Let it
You are
die.
failing. You've killed it.
Killing it.
You're
I
dead.
You
did-
murdered
You
it.
are
That was
dead.
the plan.
You
I
are-
was brilliant, and you killed the joke.
I'm sorry, I
you
haven't read the
liked-
Bible in a while. Sorry.
Wow! What are you? Some sort of Protestant?
Yes.
You leave the
No,
Protestants alone.
Sneaky. That would be a Catholic because Protestants are actually allowed to read the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh. That was
Mm.
mean.
Well, that's implying anyone in the Protestant faith actually reads the Bible.
Hey, at least we have the right to.
This is true.
Okay.
Now,
Back,
oh boy! Now that we've started a couple of brush fires, let's
back
do
on
what we
top.
came here for.
Let's re-rail this train and let's get it off the track to the child orphanage.
Sneaky, I found a bug with Horizon.
Okay.
This is not
The
the time.
I'll tell you later then.
Yeah, you should tell me later.
Yep. Oh.
Now we have
Right.
found a real Valkyr. The project can move to next stage. I wonder if any of the other Valkyr will behave
So here's my
like
problem with this.
CV1.
So far as we know, the only way to test for Valkyrdness is to take people that to take girls that you think might have the appropriate bloodline and then murder them.
Yes.
Because the only thing that brings out the power is a death experience or near-death experience that causes them to basically become a Super Saiyan.
Also, yes, you are correct, Kiln. You are correct. Anyway, what was I saying before?
I don't know.
Shit, it was
I
gonna
have
be
no
really
idea.
witty, and I'm really sad that I've missed it now. Alright. 1 hour later, blah blah blah. She's changing her aura into triangles and different shapes. Blade, shield, super.
What is
long
this, Ruby
arm.
now?
No, apparently she's Naruto.
I don't know, but speaking of Ruby, have some good art that I just found.
Oh, I'm always up.
I don't want to
for
click
that.
that.
No German accent for shame. I feel
Oh, cool.
like that's a trap that I don't want to fall into. Anyway, what did you link and where? Shit post, okay. That's an art, yes. Is that supposed to be like the Japanese manga version of the
Yeah,
manga?
what is this?
Oh, this is from the artist for the Japanese manga, and that is presumably a bunch of other franchises he's gotten to work on. That's not just Ruby, that is a bunch of other projects he's done.
Anyway,
Yeah, because I reckon I saw them.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, back to the topic of me being lost as fuck.
Yes.
Quote, stomach growling, end quote. Wow, the punctuation was actually correct this time.
Wow, who's
Oh, that's a
yelling
surprise.
stomach growling?
Apparently, that's how you announce you're hungry.
I think this person's watching too
so
much
so
anime.
wait, it like does that mean I can just go in there and scream "Red Warrior need food bad" and I'll get some meat?
Well, no. First, you have to yell that to a wizard, and then they have to take it and cook it.
Of course.
Well, that sounds like it's going to take
Where is
a
the
long
difference to the
time.
normal stream?
Max, do you know how easy it is to cook when you have Fireball?
Yeah, but couldn't they just, I don't know, like magic it up?
No, you have to be a priest or a paladin for that.
Fuck that! I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there's
go find
actually
priest
a
or
few
paladin.
specific
Actually, I think can bards do that?
I'm gonna look this up.
Bards
Hold
can
up.
Do that.
I'm gonna look this up.
Are we the bad guys, Hans?
No. Stop.
Please. I kind of want to go watch that abridged series again.
Oh man, that was
Why?
such a great series.
It's not done yet, though. I think we've got at least
know,
one more
but we're gonna have
episode.
to wait for fucking ever for the next episode.
Well, maybe they'll get it out on time this year.
That's a laugh.
Anyway, blah blah blah. I didn't know she was up and walking around. Miss Reed, oh Miss Reed, putting his hand on her left shoulder. Ah! Exclamation point period. Ah! Exclamation point period. 2 minutes later, after they finish talking.
Why didn't you just?
What? Why is there just screaming?
Why not just show us what they were talking about?
Hospital cafeteria had few people eating in it, but the 2 people that were important were eating there, so that's why we're talking about it. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry to scare you. Blah, blah, blah. Cheeseburger at the hospital. Cheeseburger at a hospital.
Author, have you ever been in a
Have
hospital
you
in
ever
your life?
been in a hospital?
Actually, they do serve pretty good burgers in some hospitals.
Not cheeseburgers.
True.
Listen here.
well-
You get fed one thing in Chicago hospital: a medical bill.
Well, I mean, Boston
I
Hospital
mean,
has
Okay, if you want the really good food, you gotta send someone down to the food court at my local hospital. But the food they do give you is still cooked pretty well. They just don't give
Only
you
in
burgers, they give you chicken.
America do hospitals have food courts.
I mean,
Well,
Why wouldn't
yeah, it's there for the families.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, like I said, America.
Like, it actually makes a lot of sense to be like, hey, look, here's like a mom and pop
Schnitzel and
burger
French
joint.
fries at a hospital.
what?
What?
Fucking Germans.
What the fuck is
What's
wrong
this about?
with your
Oh,
country?
my fucking German.
What the fuck is wrong with all of you? It's a hospital. Let's go on a tradition. Let's eat some schnitzel. Let's get some beer, some schnitzel and pretzels. Oh yeah.
Would you like some?
In
Would
the
you like some
hospital.
schnitzel? Yeah.
How dare they have a food that they're known for at their hospitals?
Yes,
What's wrong with
actually. It's like if a hospital's like, hey guys, you want a shit ton of greasy bacon while you're here?
Dude, I would love that.
Of course you would. You're.
I mean, look. All I'm saying is the hospitals in Chicago may or may not serve deep dish pizza.
A good currywurst and pizza too. What the fuck is wrong with your country? Clean your shit up. It's time to stop.
They tried cleaning up, but
No,
but when they tried to,
Ow!
no, I'll stop.
You boy, you guys like to just walking the line today, don't you?
Well, I mean, you know, it's like in Martin Luther King had I had a dream speech.
Stop.
Germany had an I had a dream speech. The rest of the world didn't like Germany's speech, though.
Stop. I stopped at mine. You have to stop at yours.
Both of you. Stop.
Hey, I stopped, Max.
Alright? We are already on a potential list due to one of
We are
Sneaky's relatives. We don't need to feel more.
Dangerously close.
Why does
You
this
two need to
paragraph
stop.
start with a period?
Because you need to suffer.
Why?
Chicogi? What the fuck is the Chicogian hospital? Is that supposed to be like a Chicago hospital there, Calvin?
Shikogian. Shikogian. Are you a Shikogi?
Shikogi. That's where a Japanese anime takes place when they don't want to pay Chicago the rights to the name.
No, they don't want to. They don't want to have to pay for.
that
Tokyo.
is what
Oh.
Chicago dwellers will be referred to as from now on, Chicogian.
I-
That is your
listen,
job as
I'm
our local
okay with
Chicago
that.
The mystical
How
land.
is your Shikogian
Also,
life?
we need to make an anime about a kid growing up in how did you say it again, Max? So that I don't butcher your fake pronunciation.
Shikogi?
Shikogi. It will be Chicago, but it'll be set in the Warring States period.
So what? It'll just be set in America
and
during
then
the
the sequel will take
during
place 500 years
1776.
later in Neo Shikogyo.
Exactly.
Crystal Neo Shikogyo, where magic girls rule.
That's the Magical Girl spinoff.
Yeah, no, he's right. We'll do that spinoff later. But that's the spinoff.
We'll just fucking go the Fate route, start spinning off everywhere.
Max, your job is to design Gundam Shikogi.
The drive-by magical girl shootings are at an all-time high.
Yo, listen, I would totally watch an anime about where the magical girls are super common and they're just mafia enforcers.
Plus, it has much room for suffering.
You
Doll
come to
magical
this,
girl anime.
the day of my daughter's wedding.
You come to me on the day that I ascend to godhood, on the day of my daughter's wedding, and ask me for this favor.
You come to me with
I'm not
this.
gonna lie, guys. We have
My
to start with a
daughter's
real
one
solid
day.
shitpost here.
Oh God.
I mean, we already
Make a
technically did
video
make
game
a
out of
magical
about
girl
this.
shitpost.
Helm, we can make a movie series, a TV series, a porn novel
No.
series if we wanted to really get
Okay,
like
no,
certain audiences.
clearly, if we're going to make this successful, we have to follow in the footsteps of the previous people who were successful with this sort of thing. It has to be a porn novel first.
Yeah, it has to start
Oh.
with that.
God,
No.
I'm not writing that. I mean, I'll write the basic story. Someone else can handle the sex scenes. You heard us,
I
Calvin.
mean-
Look, it's okay, Max. We wouldn't ask you to write something you have no experience with.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, as you see, Max, it's because you're a saint,
Fun.
so you must hold on to your virginity.
Indeed, it is Saint Max the Virgin, the most pure of the group.
I fucking
You
hate
must.
you. Fucking cunts.
Okay, so when we get around to the video game, the spin-off character from Max will be Saint Max the Virgin in a pure white dress.
What do you want to call him? Saint Zam?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Yeah. Make sure we'll have Nita the Trap.
Hey, whatever floats
Atina
your
the
creepy
Trap?
boat.
Atina the Trap. Oh boy.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
Atina the Trap.
Okay, but then what do we do with Sneaky?
Oh, clearly, I'm the only sane person there.
Oh,
You're right.
oh,
No,
really?
he's
Really?
right.
That's what you're gonna give yourself?
Let's see, what would we call you? Let's see. Call you Seth Deeves, the only sane person in this entire city.
The straight man.
The autistic girl, Sneakella.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh God!
no, it should be
Wow.
Sneakella, the alcoholic.
Oh, I should not have laughed
Oh
at that.
boy. Guess who just went on damage control?
Fucking Christ! What's wrong with our chat? I think we have
You are
like
all
the most.
terrible people.
We have
See,
one of the most
this
offensive
is
chats I've ever
exactly
seen.
what I'm saying. Our streams get so much better when we have a chat to interact with.
Because we're not doing anything related to our show.
I blame Sneaky for that mostly. He's the one that goes again. He's the one who goes off on the rails.
So what the fuck have you graced us with here?
Oh, that's the Teen Titans damage control.
Oh god, it's just walls of text now, guys. Aren't you glad they stopped doing dialogue? It's just walls of text now. It's just walls of text.
Oh, for the record,
Walls of text.
everything in this stream
Walls
has been
of
copyrighted.
text.
Don't even try to steal this.
Shit, you gotta be censored kidding me? A Dame Zergling? A Dame Zergling. It's a Dame
Okay.
Zergling in distress. We must save it.
Oh, hold on a minute. That's a proud, independent Zergling that don't need no James Rayner.
Listen here. Person who wrote this, just because you write walls of text does not make you fucking...
Okay, so I'm gonna
Lovecraft.
use this moment to rant again. I think I've done this before, but I'm doing it again because I'm mildly drunk at this point and still angry. If you are writing a story with cursing in it, either curse or don't. You are in control of the story. If your story and you want to have cursing in it, you put the curse word in. If you don't want cursing in your story, you don't have your characters curse. You don't have your characters curse and then censor the curse. Because you know what that makes you look like? Fucking retarded.
It also makes you look like a 12-year-old.
That too. Like, seriously.
Which according to Sneaky is effectively the same thing.
I mean, honestly, we were all that dumb when we were 12.
No one denies this.
Wait, what the... I hit spacebar and we're down to 13 feet down, only 7 feet Zerglings left.
What?
Hello?
In front of her, crushing 8 feet more Zerglings between the logs like flies.
Huh?
I am so confused, and I don't care enough to try to unconfuse myself.
Ellen then launched her giant Aurar arms. Aurar.
No,
Aurar?
Where?
Aurar? Aurar?
Or that's Aura.
No, A-U-A-R?
Oh God! I didn't see
Aurar?
the spelling before that one. Aurar.
Aurar arms with the
Aurar,
tree
I'm gonna
clubs
say
at
Aurar.
high speed 72 feet away towards both groups of Hydralisk. Of singular Hydralisk. Both groups of singular Hydralisk, hitting them in their possessive form chests, knocking them back, then bringing the clubs up again, the extended aura arms moving like the wipes. Moving like the wipes. As they moved up
I am not
dozens
asking
of
questions
feet
anymore.
and down in just fraction of a second on the Hydralisk, smashing all 6 like bugs as blood and organs were pussed out from their crushed bodies.
Oh, okay. This is okay. So let me straight. They'll get graphic, but still.
Can't say fuck, but I'm gonna describe the bodies exploding.
So you take the time to make sure your fiction is rated M
Yes.
for the gore,
Yeah.
and you're
Can't say fuck though. That would be a naughty word.
Indeed.
I
Internal screaming intensifies. Ellen then quickly pulling the clubs back just in time to stop the remaining Zerglings charging the Gape in her defense. Ellen spinded her aura arms and the trees in a rapid 360 arch. 360-degree arch!
360 degrees of arch.
360 no scope.
Knocking the attacking Zerglings in different directions and thin, with a flurry of wiping strikes. Ellen finished them off. Then Ellen dropped the logs and shifting her aura field arms back into sphere around her body. Then she focused to change her remaining aura for what she needs. As Ellen did this, 2 overlords behind her landed, releasing 40 Zerglings, 12 Hydralisks. Oh my god! You spammed the shit out of commas, but the one fucking time commas actually need to be there, you managed to not do it.
I see no problem here.
I see a few problems.
Oh my! So remember that time the author said "dame" instead of "damn"? The author is legitimately replacing references of the word "damn" with "dame" because cursing would be bad.
Yup, checks out.
Ellen quickly changes her aura into what could be recognized as a harpy form.
What? Alright, look, I know that I've only played the first game. I've missed like 3 games, at least one of which, because one of them was on the PSP. I don't remember this at all.
To be fair, you probably weren't missing much.
No, Calvin. She's legitimately using "dame" as a curse word. Because it says it right down here. Dame, that was close. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, there are 4 matches for the word dame on this page.
Can't use my sensor field ability, have to focus into my aura and flying, so I'm blind flying, but I can't sense the strange sensations to find them. Apparently she turned into a rapper.
Hey, listen, if they want to make a Valkyria Chronicle game where it's just rap battles, I'm down for that.
You really sure you want that?
Okay,
It'd
there's
be
2
better than
behind
some of
me
the games
and 1 in
they've
front of
made.
me, but
This
in front
is
of me on
true,
the ground,
however.
the 4th is higher up in the air. Ellen thinks that she flaps her wings harder and rises to the blackness of the night sky.
Please stop trying to rap.
You are too white and too drunk.
No, I'm fairly certain even if he was in any capacity black, he still couldn't rap. Am I wrong?
You don't know that.
No, I'm fairly certain. You have literally no rhythm. Feel free to prove me wrong, sir.
Ugh. I do not need my magical fortifying juice to fortify my lung. Ugh. But they are now fortified. God, frickin' chat.
What did the chat say now?
What did our chat do?
What is the chat doing?
Chat is being chat, I guess.
That one must be the first to drop its load of Zerg, taking over the Overwatch position, she thought. Changing
You
the flight
stop it.
path to
You
intercept
Stop it right now.
the lone overlord as she sweeps side to side, still evading the hydralisk on the ground. 1 out of 3 spines hitting her as she continues to rise higher and higher until she's just above the overlord. Then Ellen landed on top, grabbing on one of its spins on the back. Time to test my theory. I hope it works. The strange sensation was even stronger now that her and the Overlord were in direct contact. Then, just following her instincts at this point, she expanded her aura field to engulf the floating Zerg completely. As she did, she felt a new sensation, completely different from before, as her psionic aura connected to the Overlord's Owen. Psionic energy. Ellen's mind went blank as her eyes and aura both changed color to a crimson red and began pulsating as it began to absorb the Overlord's psionic energy in essence. Apparently she's like a soul-based Alex Mercer now. I didn't realize this was Valkyrie.
No, because that's what the world needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you know?
Half of my chat is saying keep rapping Ellen's text and the other half is saying please stop.
Please listen to them and stop.
Please. It really is painful.
Anyway. Blah blah blah, she's eating the Overlord's soul, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah, eating the souls of all the Zerg around her, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Behemoth, the new type of Zerg that's never been talked about before, was forced to disconnect the Overlord from the hive mind. She shifted back to normal colors, and she cocooned herself. As the cocoon-like shell was completed, she rolled off the Overlord and onto the ground. Then the Zerg all gathered around the cocoon. What do you mean she's gone? Richard shouted, capitalized furious. Sigh! Well, we do at last know where she's gone. Apparently they lost track of her, but apparently they couldn't keep track of the Zerg invasion. Yeah, good night, Calvin. Yep. It's been nice having you all here.
Later, Calvin.
Alright, I think we can consider this chapter covered.
Yeah.
Good job, everyone, for getting through this
Cool.
hole.
It's 8:10.
I was gonna say, I think we spent most of the show productively.
Yes, but I'm not talking about any of this.
Indeed.
Alright, so we have a Pokemon StarCraft story. We have a Star Wars StarCraft crossover. We have a Fairy Tale Gamer fic. And a Bleach High School D times D fic.
Can we just not do the dragon one? Just do the D times D, I guess.
Alright, D times D it is. A hybrid in the yokai world. Didn't we don't do this one? No, we didn't. Didn't we? I don't think we covered this one. Honestly, did we cover this one already?
Which one? Title
Hybrid
looks-
in a yokai world.
Title looks familiar. Was this the one where he meets
It's not in our listings, so I guess it's not.
Okay, well, our archivist says that we haven't covered this as far as he's aware.
You okay there?
No, I have vodka in my lungs. Which, I mean, isn't all that bad considering everything else it's got in there. Alright, we have not covered this one. Alright, let's... oh wait, we might have looked at this one and then decided to skip it because we were already fed up with all the other shit we had that day.
That's entirely possible.
That sounds like it's a very possible outcome. Alright, boys and girls, strap yourselves in, buckle up, and let's go! A hybrid in the yokai world. It has been 3 years since the Winter War. A powerless 19-year-old Ichigo Kurosaki has been abandoned by all but one of his friends. Deciding that a change was needed, Ichigo moves to Kyoto, where a chance encounter changes his life once more. What bonds will he forge, and what will become of the hero of the Winter War? How's that for a vague summary? Well, in my personal opinion, pretty fucking vague. And shit.
I mean, honestly, it feels like it should be read over like a 1870 something guy like reading over narration from like a Civil War story. Honestly, like, does that not sound like it?
Couple chapters of this before returning to my other story. Every time I try and sit down and begin to write the next chapter, despite having a plan in my head, mind you, I just go blank and start feeling depressed. So I'm gonna write a bit of this story and to kind of switch gears so I can go back and write in the proper mindset. On a much less depressing note, I've bashing musical interests based off my own.
Okay, I have an actual perfect song for this narration.
I
Not
don't
too bad.
think it was ever stated that what Ichigo enjoyed, so yeah, may or may not be prevalent in this chapter, but I thought I should just mention this. Also, I will say this right now, I'm making up my own shit here, including power levels and things that can be done. So any concerning saying someone is OP or underpowered, well, I'm sorry, but I will write as I feel it needs to be written. If I think one tough as fuck opponent may be easy for each go, then it will be done like so. I begin thinking of my other story. This is fanfiction. This is my version, my story. So I ain't about to limit myself to the canon. If I feel something needs to be changed, I will change it. I don't mean to sound rude, but maybe rude, but not extremely rude, but that's how I feel. French sighing sounds. Well, before I rant any longer, on with the story. I would just like to point out I applaud the author for taking their own initiative and going off in new directions, but at the same time, author, you can get fucked.
So, in other news, price drop for Perfect Grade Unicorn recently.
Oh wow, it'll only cost me an arm instead of an arm and a leg.
I
Yeah,
say
it's down
this
to 200 now.
specifically because, yes, you can ignore canon, but I do want damn good reasons why canon is different. And if you're going about changing canon, I at least want the butterfly effects of said canonical changes. Otherwise, follow the fucking canon. Don't be like those many stories out there that are like, oh yeah, hey guys, I changed this actually major thing that would completely change how this story goes, but I'm still gonna use canon as my basis for my divergence, even though I completely diverged actually many, many, many times of canon before this. Just, I despise authors who say, well, this is my story and I will write it how I want to. And then not pay attention to the ramifications of the changes they have made. Because it's my story and I write it how I want to. You don't have the cake both ways. If you write the story how you want to write it, you better damn well make sure the changes you make actually change things.
Why are you talking like that anyway?
Because I have vodka in my lungs and it hurts to talk in any other fashion.
That's
So
the
when you have
problem.
vodka in your lungs, you talk
I
like
think
an
it's
old
time
Civil
to
War
stop.
soldier.
It is never time to stop.
No, there's definitely a time to stop.
It's
You
time to
have
stop.
found it.
Where are your parents? Where the fuck are your parents? Who the
They're
fuck
in
are your
Florida.
parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. Although I'm fairly certain we probably should have anyway.
You are approximately
We have
8
reports of
years
someone
too late for
abusing
that.
themselves.
A sudden lurch forced a pair of warm brown eyes open. The orbs glanced around before lowering its lids. The orbs have lids, the sky has eyes. Relaxing from their alert state, from being roused from slumber. Blinking the sleep out of his eyes, the man suppressed a yawn as he glanced out of the window he sat by. It seemed like he had finally arrived. He removed his earbuds from his ears as opposed to his nose, letting them dangle from the
Really?
front
I
of his
thought they
shirt.
would have been like up his ass.
He waited until the aisle had cleared out before he stood, stretching his body with several pops.
Snap, crackle, pop.
No one's gonna complete that.
Soylent Green.
I haven't seen the word orbs in like forever. Well, now you have. With a sigh, the young man ran to hair and through his messy orange hair, grabbing the bags from above his seat. Moving the vehicles, he gave the driver a nod of appreciation as he exited. Stepping off the bus, he glanced around the bus station. There were easily a couple hundred people going to and fro, pushing his way past the masses. He left the station and retrieved a paper from his back pocket. Looking over the address, he got his bearings and began his walk through the city of Kyoto. It was a bit past noon when the bell chimed, signaling someone walking through the doors. A young man with a permanent scowl on his face stood at the counter, drumming his fingers to some unknown song as he waited. A series of grunts and the sound of a stack of boxes falling came from the back room. He leaned to the side, trying to peer through the back door to see if everything was all right. Suddenly the man popped through the door, grumbling slightly. He looked to be in his late 40s. His hair had little black left in it, making way for several grays. A patch of gray hair was found on his chin as well, forming a well-kept beard. The man wore a striped dress shirt tucked into a pair of black slacks held up with suspenders. Finally making his way to the counter, he put on a pleasant smile and ceased his grumbling. "Welcome to Sunrise Apartments. How can I help you?" Ichigo showed him the slip of paper. "I'm Ichigo Kurosaki. I called a while back." The man looked over the paper for a minute before going to his notebook, verifying the information before looking back to Ichigo. Well, it seems everything is in order, Kurosaki-san. Ichigo scowled, deepened at the slight formality, but he didn't have many options for housing. He wasn't about to correct his only form of shelter. The man went on, going over different rules, all of which were pretty self-explanatory. Keys in hand, Ichigo set off towards where the old man had told him his room would be. A small jingle of metals, followed by the slight creaking of the door. Walking into a darkened room, Ichigo felt along the walls until his hand hit the switch. Flicking it up, a warm light illuminated the apartment. It wasn't anything too fancy, as Ichigo didn't have unlimited funds to work with, but it was more than enough for him. The apartment consisted of a main room, which was a living room, dining room, and kitchen connected. There were 2 doors leading from that room, presumably to either the bedroom or the bathroom. A quick peek confirmed this, and Ichigo nodded in satisfaction. It would do.
Okay, but which did it lead to? Because there's a big difference between the two, author.
Glancing at the clock, Ichigo saw it was getting fairly late. He yawned, and though he had gotten a nap on the bus, it wasn't a restful one. Tossing his bag down at the foot of his bed, the orange-haired young man flopped up down along the mattress, finding it to be rather comfortable. Soon enough, he felt himself getting pulled into deep slumber as the moon began to set outside. Alright, you want to take over here so I can eat my soup?
That would have required me to be paying attention. Hold on. Alright, are we starting with a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Alright, good. So I'm not crazy. Are you sure about this, Ichigo? Ichigo looked up at the speaker, who was seated across from him in the food court. Yeah, I think I am, Chad. Not like there's much left for me to do here anyways, Ichigo said, his scowl turning slightly bitter. Karen has been training her powers. The old bastard has his powers if he needs them. No matter how hard I try, I just can't access my powers anymore. I know I have most of my energy back, but it's like something is still blocking them, he said, running a hand down his face. It was true, over the past few years, his energy had been coming back to what it was before, slowly but surely repairing itself. I just need to take a side note. This is always something that annoyed the hell out of me with the final Getsuga Tensho. They're like, if you do this, you'll lose your power forever. And they're like, actually, you know what? A couple months later, he's got it back. You know,
Honestly, no. Bleach ended
ignore
after
fact
the
that
Aizen
it took
arc.
his father literal years to get his powers back.
It took 2 years for him to get any of it back, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll just expedite the process. Here, captains of the 13 squads, put some of your spiritual pressure in
Okay,
this
that wasn't
sword."
until the end of it, though. Like, his
Yeah,
powers were moving
That
along
it
very
was a
quickly
2-year
even before.
time skip by the time he could use any of
I
his
know
powers.
it was a 2-year time skip.
You said 2 months, cunt.
I said 2 months?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean 2 months. I meant 2 years.
Yeah. It's fine if it's 2 years, but then they made him stronger than he should have been, and that's what disappointed me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, he can fire off Tenshos that can take care of weak hollows, and now he's just got arm. Okay.
Although,
Alright.
I will say this, the second version of his, I don't know, Fullbringer, whatever, I think the second version was probably the coolest.
What, the way it looked, where he was just wearing a skeleton?
No, the version where it was just like his arm was just replaced with a shadowy sword.
Oh yeah, no, that was okay.
Like, I
But
think that was by far
I
the
kind of
coolest.
wish that we'd gotten the adventures of Ichigo throwing shitty-looking Tenshos from his soul badge.
Oh, yeah.
I would have preferred that. Could have made it a gag comic, but no. They wouldn't let it die.
No, they had to make money. Because they
like,
realized
"Ah,
they killed their cash cow.
Hey, that's the best part. It's like, hey, listen, manga artist, we know you hate us and we hate you. Keep doing this. This is still making us money. And eventually they got tired of his shit and gave him, I think, 3 weeks to wrap it all up, so we didn't get to see everything properly explored.
Yeah, I
That's
think so.
It's like, oh wow, this is starting to get interesting, and it's done. Okay.
Didn't they do the same to Kishimoto?
They gave Kishimoto significantly longer to wrap things up, but yeah, essentially, from what I understand. they told him, you only have a couple of months to finish this up now. And so Kishimoto literally just skipped a number of panels between one chapter to the next. And so we get to the next chapter, it's like, when the fuck did he get a DNA sword? Was this a double chapter week? No. No, it just appeared out of nowhere.
Bam!
Okay.
DNA sword.
You know, Sneaky, that sword that was hinted to be super important for lore and then had to be glossed over instead.
That sword that appeared once and was used once and then never appeared again.
Yeah.
Yep, anyway, continue.
And it did nothing of use whatsoever.
You would think that's blah 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 power. By now he had roughly what he had when he went to Soul Society for the first time to save Rukia. With the power he had regained,
So I'm sorry. I now know why Sneaky thought we did this before. We covered something like this where everyone just fucking ignored Ichigo for no reason, but the summary was like more descriptive.
Oh no! I think in that one it was they were ignoring him because he didn't have his powers back and they didn't want him to feel bad, and Ichigo was also kind of being a bitch and ignoring them.
Yeah.
So that one, while we may have had other problems with it, that one at least made sense. This one just appears to be that everyone that isn't Chad has just gone, hey Ichigo, you're a powerless bitch. Bye.
Yeah, which is odd considering like Orihime's attraction to him, and Rukia having gone through multiple life and death scenarios, and Renji going through multiple life and death scenarios with him.
She was only attracted to his power levels.
Is that what the fandom says? Like, I'm seriously asking, is that what like people actually claim for that?
I don't know.
Die? Sneaky, are you alive?
He's too busy drinking soup, I guess. Anyway.
Maybe his headphones
With
died
the power
again.
he regained, blah blah blah, there were only pluses. For some reason, he hadn't seen any traces of Shinigami or Hollows. The thought turned his scowl into a
This soup I
slight.
bought
So
from the
now he's
clothing
gone from a
store.
bitter smile to a grimace.
Grimace?
You shut up. Speaking of Soul Society or Shinigami, not a single person from there had so much as come to check up on him. Okay, Ichigo, not to be mean, but you really should have seen that coming. Pretty much every single person in the Soul Society that wasn't Rukia or... I almost said Genji, I meant... Fuck. Renji. See, the problem was, Max, I was going to say Reggie, and I'm like, no, that's not right. And I was going to say Genji, and I'm like, no, that's not right.
No, it is Reiji, isn't it?
No, I think it's Renji.
It's
Is it
Renji.
Yeah,
It's
Renji.
Renji, yeah.
The problem was, I was like, there were
Oh,
two people.
Right, that's
So
right.
I was like, I knew I was gonna say the wrong one. So I was like, what is it?
Well, for a second I thought you were trying to mix Renji and Gin's name together.
No,
Because Gin was a kick-ass
Gin.
character.
Gin
Gin-
was awesome.
Yeah, I liked Gin. And then they had the thing that was like, actually, no, he's been fucking turning on Aizen the whole time. You go back, it's like, oh, actually, there are multiple hints where he's not really on his side.
That's awesome.
Now
Anyway.
I'm sad.
But
'cause
yeah,
we
my
lost a
point
great guy.
They're
being,
making a third Banner Saga?
what?
Banner Saga. Oh yeah, no, Banner Saga has gotten a lot.
Okay.
It's got like two. It's got 2 games, and they're working on a third. Most of it's actually good.
Anyway, but what I
yeah.
was saying was, all of them were, to some degree or another, a sociopathic asshole. Like, the only people that seem to have even moderately normal psyches are Rukia and Renji.
And that's pushing
And
it
the
too.
one
What the
dude
fuck?
from Squad, and the medics from Squad 4.
Yeah, the medics are like the most normal. Actually, the medics are like the eccentric ones because they're actually the most sane.
Yeah.
Well, except for their captain, but
Yes. But she's trying to hide her psychopathicness.
yeah,
But
doing
really,
a pretty good job.
all the captains are unbalanced lunatics to one degree or another.
I don't feel so bad for God, was it Genryusai or The
Do you mean
old
the old man?
the old man. Yeah, I feel bad for the old man because he was legitimately saying he's like he was tired of their shit though. Like seriously, guys, can we go just a month without you trying to fucking kill each other?
The answer is no, apparently. But I mean, like everyone in there was some degree of messed up. Rukia's older brother was so much of a lawful good paladin. He was like, my sister broke the law. I guess I'll execute her myself. Like, come on, dude.
And at that point, it's like, okay, seriously, you talk about like wanting to honor your dead wife, and you decide to repay that by murdering her sister. Okay.
Seems
Yep,
good.
that checks out.
Seems good. .jpg.
It's 8:30. Why can't this be done?
Because
Well, you know, I
suffering is
tried to
eternal.
stall, but blah blah blah. But sadly, 'twas not the case. Author, I got news for you. Ichigo Kurosaki would never use the word "twas."
Yeah,
not
he
even in
really
his own
would.
head. They seemingly cut off all contact with him. He could understand for maybe the first year or so they could rebuild, but it had been nearly 3 years, for fuck's sake. He
Okay,
was
so
19.
it was 3 years in this story then, where he moved to
Yeah.
Kyoto. Alright.
He was 19 and had just graduated with no sign, head, nor tails of anyone from his time with the supernatural. Truthfully, he was just pissed, as not just Soul Society, but nearly every one of his friends had seemed to cut themselves off. They rushed off during class, and anytime they spoke to one another, they were quiet when he approached. The only one who would still stand by him and openly tell him what was going on was Chad, who was like a brother to him. And Ichigo was grateful for it. He didn't
Wait a
have
minute,
to
are
do
you
that.
saying-
You know, at
Hold
least
on a
they
minute.
didn't make Chad out of character.
Yeah. Does your family know? Chad spoke in his low tone. Ichigo paused for a moment before shaking his head. No, I'm not going to tell them. I might write something for Karen and Yuzu, but they won't know until I'm gone. Chad slowly shook his head. Where do you plan on going? Not sure yet. Going to look at my options. Though Kyoto sounds promising. Should be plenty of opportunities. Okay, look, another thing, out of character, Ichigo would absolutely tell Karen and Yuzu. He probably wouldn't care what his dad thought, but he would definitely tell Karen and Yuzu.
Well, this is not canon because I said
don't
so.
you know this is not canon because I'm the author of this fanfic and I can make
Like,
anything I want?
even if Ichigo was bitter about his friends ditching him, the mere fact that he was bitter his friends ditched him would be motivation for him
Also,
to not
why
do
is
that to
Or-
his sisters.
Okay, also, second question. Why is Orheim ditching him?
Oh,
Or, you know, I
because
don't
she
know.
was only into him for his power level, duh.
That's dumb.
If that was true, she would have been all over Hollow Ichigo's dick.
Do you ever see what the fandom says about that?
I am aware of what the fandom says, Sneaky. Fandom
Ichigo
is a bunch of filthy
double-checked his
degenerates.
bags, making sure he had packed everything he needed. He glanced over his papers, checking the information for his bus ticket. Looking to the clock, he saw that it was time to head out. Stuffing the papers in his back pocket, he grabbed his bag and opened the window. Before he left, however, he glanced back to his desk where two objects sat. The first was a letter to his sisters. He didn't want to leave without them at least giving them a goodbye. They never did anything wrong. The second object made Ichigo scowl deeper. It was his combat pass, supposedly symbolizing his position as a substitute Shinigami. He scoffed. What a load of bull. Anytime he showed that pass to any of the local Shinigami, they never recognized it. Though it was useful for getting into his soul form, he suspected there was more to it than that. He was sure as hell would put it past them to make it a tracker. So, there it lay. He wasn't about to let that clown-faced creep be able to track him wherever he went. He hesitated for only a moment, but more, before leaping out the window, landing low and going into a roll to cushion his landing. Beginning his walk to the bus station, he sent out one last glance toward the house he had grown up in before continuing forwards. He was about halfway across town before he stopped, seeing three figures blocking his path. One was Chad. His tall stature was hard to mistake for anyone else. The next person was Kisuke Uehara, wearing his trademark bucket hat and wooden geta.
The Chad, the Virgin Ichigo.
Be quiet, you.
His fan whipped out in front. No, it'd be more like the Chad and the Virgin Ishua.
I can't deny this. This makes me upset.
Lastly, there was a small black kitty cat with piercing golden eyes that each
I
of them
wonder who that could
see
be.
from clearly from this distance. He was slightly relieved Yoriichi was in cat form. It meant less chance for her to tease him. Ichigo scowled deepen as he cautiously approached. If you guys are trying to stop me, don't bother. He was cut off by a masculine voice, though he knew better. No, we're not stopping you. We came to see you off, Yoriichi said, softly patting towards him before leaping onto his shoulder and nuzzling against his face. He scratched her behind the ears as he turned to the others. How did you find out, Hat and Clogs? I only told Chad. Oh, I have my ways,
Gee, if Chad is standing there and you only told Chad, I wonder who did it.
Ichigo? Funking
Clearly
increases.
it was the Energizer Bunny.
It's dumb for the sole reason that Orihime could just heal his powers by rejecting him losing them.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
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 That's a large plot hole.
Yeah.
Hey,
When
I
you
can
give someone
rewind.
the power to mess with time, suddenly you have plot holes.
As Kingdom Hearts has learned.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, the problem
Blah,
is that
blah.
Kingdom Hearts hasn't learned.
Ichigo was never known for his brain power. Actually, he kinda was.
Yeah.
It was more street smart than, like, book smart.
Yeah, no, he was like,
But he wasn't dumb.
yeah, no, like honestly, as far as combat went, yeah, he's a tactician in his own right. But like,
Blah, blah,
probably made
blah. I know you're
average.
getting your powers back, but they're not the same. That cane is much like mine. Once they come back, you'll be able to put your spiritual energy into the cane. So the cane's apparently a flaming skull head. And was pure black and silver. You'll be able to put your spiritual
Great.
energy into
Now we
it
have Ichigo the
and
Edgelord.
make an Asuchi. I made it so once you do, you'll be able to fuse your soul form with your human body so you can use your powers like myself and the Vizards. Curious, Ichigo pulled the handle from the rest of the cane, coming free with a click. The silver part stretched down, and the knob acting as a pommel. The blade itself was a straight black blade. Looks similar to Tensai Zangetsu, minus the hilt. Blah blah. Small book. Keto for Dummies, Pocket Edition. You know I have no control over my energy. Well then, it's time to learn. Blah blah blah. Ichigo stuffed into his bag. Oh, I nearly forgot.
I like to imagine that Keto for Dummies was in fact written by Kisuke.
Oh, it's 100% written by him.
yeah, you know it. He's the only one who would take the time to write that.
Especially in that with that title. Walked by Ichigo, handing him a card with an odd-looking pin. Try touching the pin with the cane. He did so. A small flash of light. The cane was gone. The skull was now colored red. I did some research into the Kaja and the Geishion cubes the Rancars had, and found out they were pocket dimensions. So I created a pocket dimension to put in your pocket. Whoa, man! I hear you like pocket dimensions, so I invented a pocket dimension for your pocket dimension.
We have
Hold on a
gone
minute.
full. We
Hold
have
on a
gone
minute.
Ricky
You
Eggs.
don't do that. That just causes both of them to implode, and now you have a one-way trip to the
No,
afterlife.
see, it's the Ricky Eggs.
Yeah. It's Pocket Ricky.
We don't talk about that.
Ichigo just sweat dropped. If you want to remove the cane, just press the pin and it'll pop back out. I would recommend pinning it to your inside of your jacket for easy access.
I would recommend you go.
I would recommend not using
Hard
onomatopoeia
as
in
a
a fucking
gift.
Wasn't this the same fucking like horseshit advice that was given by the Fullbringers to Ichigo? Or am I crazy?
You're crazy? I don't remember that sort of advice.
What's a Fullbring? I don't know what that is.
Oh, get the fuck over yourself.
No.
The card is a gift on behalf of Soul Society. You see, any Shinigami that kills Hollows gets paid for it, and it's super lucrative. So, seeing as they...
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Capitalism is bad.
I always thought the Soul Society was like hyper-communist.
Pretty
Actually,
much.
weren't they more just a meritocracy?
Well, they were a meritocracy where the meritocracy was communism.
What?
Well, so the people that had more merit got more things for free.
Isn't that just meritocracy capitalism then?
No, because they didn't have to pay for them. They just got those things because they were good at their job.
Yes, but see, meritocracy was therefore the currency of the time.
Yes, but it was meritocratic communism. Because communism did that too,
No,
you
because-
know. They rewarded good workers with more things. Like, that's what Stalin communism did. This is, hey, you did really good this month. Have more food.
Stalin communism wasn't the real thing, guys.
Anyway,
Sorry.
it's meritocratic
Yeah.
communism. It's a thing that actually exists, even though it's completely stupid. But yeah, it's just like Ancom. It's a dumb thing that contradicts itself, but it still exists.
So it's just what edgy middle schoolers believe is right?
Yes.
Okay. Glad we cleared that up.
Yep. Blah 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 blah. I gave you money. Blah blah blah. Sufficient money from the 12th Division. Blah blah. Ha ha ha. Mayuri will miss this money. Blah blah blah. I do believe there's enough on there to last lifetime, so spend it wisely. Blah blah blah. Chad held out his fist and they fist bumped like true bros. Okay, blah blah blah, he left.
Who was this written by? The Army of Two director?
Yes. A shrill alarm woke him up, blah blah blah. He had a bunch of scars littering his torso. Each one he could remember clearly telling a story. He tore his gaze from the mirror as he stepped in the shower, preparing himself for a tiring day. First thing Ichigo had to do was go out and buy groceries. Oh man, that's tiring. Let me tell you. Buying food. He stopped by an ATM which sat outside his hotel, not having a debit card. Carrot symbol. He built
Why
up a
carrot
good amount
symbol?
of money working for Kumi, so he said it. He was set for a while even before the card. Pressing the correct button, he found his eyes going wide in disbelief. As he glanced around quickly, he quickly retrieved his card and closed out from the screen before anyone could pause to see how much he had. Holy shit, he said killing
Well,
hollows
see,
was
he
good money.
didn't even bother to check for a skimmer, so he's got real problems.
Yeah, no, right? I didn't expect to be
I don't
this
know
much
if that's
money.
a problem over there.
He would never have to worry about money again. He just had so much money.
I'm fairly
You
certain
know-
the middle schooler is writing this.
Actually, in all seriousness, I feel like a part-time Shinigami probably could make some money off of that.
I mean, honestly, if you sit there and consider how many hollows that Ichigo killed, even though it wasn't his job ever to do any of that, he actually killed a lot more hollows than the standard Shinigami ever does.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he also...
Oh,
That's not even getting into the competition he had with Udu at the start of the series. Hey, I'm gonna summon like 100 hollow. No, sorry, hundreds of hollows. Let's have a battle to see who can kill the most.
Oh, yeah, and then
he
let's
killed
also
a bunch
kill-
of Menos, and then he killed a bunch of Adjudicats, and then he killed a bunch of Vasto Lords and
He killed
Aramcars.
Multiple Vesto Lords.
So,
I
They're all
mean, like, what's the going? Well, don't forget, he also killed Aizen. What's the going rate on Aizen?
okay, that actually has to be a quote someone has to include at some point in time in a fanfic of
What's the going rate of Aizen?
for the bounty on a god?
Oh, well, except that he didn't actually get that. At the very least, that would have been split with
Oh no, it would have been split with
Hat clog.
Kisuke, but
Yeah.
Still,
That should still
what's
be a
the bounty?
I would love to. It's like, all right, so here's like 1 billion soul bucks. Well, what's that translate to? About $40 USD.
That's like,
And
for some reason I just
billion
remember.
soul bucks.
I mean, that just reminds me of that one thing from
How
Superstar
much does
Saga
this
where they're
pretzel
just like,
cost? 1
here's
million
9,909.
soul bucks.
Here's 9,999 mushroom coins. Oh, that actually just equals like 99 bean coins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a good game. Anyway. Walked into his apartment, gym class, blah blah. He figured he needed his body to get stronger, blah blah blah. Job interviews, blah 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 blah. Boring stuff. Power levels!
Is it over 9,000? Le epic meme.
And blah 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 blah. Pour energy into a cane. Blah blah. Whatever was blocking off his powers was making him angry. And blah blah. Empty bowl. He's eaten his food. Blah 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 blah. Last interview of the day. Blah blah blah. One of the men lashed out, smacking a girl in the face. That was the last straw for Ichigo. He rushed towards him and punched him in the face. The group was stunned for a moment before they began their own assault. One of the bigger ones kept hold of the young girl and surrounded Ichigo. What the hell do you think you're doing? Kidnapping a little girl, Ichigo yelled, waiting for them to move first. The thugs remained silent. Suddenly, unlike an Assassin's Creed game, they all leapt forward simultaneously, intent on ending the fight quickly before the guards could come rushing out. They were lucky to find the girl away from them, and they weren't about to risk getting caught now. Ichigo quickly ducked under the first few punches, sweeping his legs on the ground, tripping up over half of the thugs. He sprang up, his fist smashing into the jaw of another. The lack of teeth crunching together probably meant that this was the first one he slugged. Oh yes, he punched all of the teeth out of the first guy.
The Barry
man
suit
is
level
dead.
is pretty high in this one.
I'm sorry. Taking 2 hits like that, where if Ichigo's hitting with the same power every time, and he's knocking teeth out, that man is dead after 2 of those.
Knocking the entire mouth out, apparently.
To be fair, Max, this is the same series in which people literally have the ability to take sword hits to the face and just walk away.
But those are like magic ghost people.
Yeah,
This
those
is
are
a
magic
normal
ghost
person.
death gods.
Yeah, this is an actual human. Like, I don't
I mean-
think Ichigo's ever taken a sword to the face.
Wait,
But
a second.
multiple other-
Hold on, my dudes. Without much hesitation, he leapt back towards his other 2 opponents. However, he was surprised when they caught both of his fists and retaliated with punches to his gut. All the wind escaped his lungs, and he was thrown a great distance. He managed to land on the roll, standing gingerly, holding his hand to his gut. There was no way these guys were normal humans. The only ones he met that could actually throw him that far were Shinigami. His scowl deep in, thinking Shinigami were gonna kidnap a little girl. He crouched down for a moment before taking off into a Naruto run. His body started to blur as he pushed himself. He leaned to the side to dodge another punch.
What
and
happened to
struck
him
back
not
with
having his
own.
powers?
The thug blocked it, but released a strangled cry of pain as a crunching sound was heard, followed by a snap. The bones in the arm had broken completely. Oh, he punched the arm. Oh, I didn't realize we were full on video game mode where countering a punch breaks people's arms.
It begins.
I mean, theoretically, that is possible.
Yes, theoretically,
Which is
it's
very
possible
improbable.
if you hit in very specific parts of the arm when it's extended in a certain fashion. It's completely possible to break certain parts of the arm. But
Well, Sneaky, I'm going to put it this way. I'm pretty sure if I were to try and meet fist for fist with a bodybuilder with that kind of accuracy, my arm's going to be pulped.
honestly, you would be surprised. It would probably just dislocate.
It would just dislocate, he says.
Which, admittedly, your elbow dislocating would be enormously painful.
But it's not a
I'm pretty
broken
sure
arm.
they'll take some ligaments with it, in fact.
It likely would. I'm just saying your arm wouldn't, like, break. Like, the way our arm is set up is actually, in fact, meant to take blows straight to the knuckle.
Not a lot of them, but you could do it.
Like, that's the distribution of force that our body handles. Is, like, that's actually a thing. I mean, obviously, there's other parts of the body that are set up different ways that unfortunately would also have to absorb that amount of force, which would react poorly to that, but, you know, we ain't horses. Our bones are actually quite sturdy compared to some animals.
Also capable of healing.
Also capable of rapid healing. Yes. Compared to other animals.
Like, horse breaks a leg, horse is dead. You're putting that horse down.
Actually, most animals, if they break their legs and a human isn't there to care for them, they die.
Yeah, I know.
Human breaks leg. I can walk this off. Literally walks it off.
Yeah, well,
I mean, there's a reason we have that saying.
it depends on the kind of animal. Normally with, like, non-domesticated, like deer, the humane thing is to shoot them because they will not survive in the wild. But, like, horses, you don't have to shoot it. It's usually race horses that happens to, or horses that are... Oh, God, what's the upper age for horses? Fuck, it's over a certain age they do it, because at that point, they are actually going to start slowly declining into worse health. So, it's a quote-unquote lost cause.
Most humans
at that
break
point.
a leg and the human isn't there to care for them, the human dies. Well, honestly, again, it really depends. I mean, if they break, like, their femur, you're kind of fucked because there's a lot of important shit there. But if you break a shin, you can splint that and walk it off. I mean, if you don't go into shock. I mean, you really can't evolve out of shock.
I mean, humanity's relatively
No,
speaking,
to be
most
fair,
other creatures on the
evolution
planet.
did give it a good shot with the amount of adrenaline the body just dumps into your body. It's like, oh, you're going to shock? Let me just dump literally lethal levels of adrenaline into you.
You might die, or you might, flip a car. 50-50.
Literally, it's like, well, you might kill yourself with these levels of adrenaline, or alternatively, not. Oh, human body. Space Marine levels of modification might evolve past shock. Well, at that point, that's not really evolution. That's more of pure genetic manipulation.
I mean, you could argue that's still evolution. It's just being driven.
I mean, yeah, it's not natural evolution, I guess you could say. Just like how the banana wasn't natural evolution. It was artificial evolution induced by humans. Or dogs. Or...
No, I think it was natural evolution, and then something wiped out a shit ton of banana species, and there's only one kind today as a result because it managed to survive.
No, actually the original banana was a very unedible object, and humans over time cultivated it, like they did with corn, to becoming edible.
Well, no, it's not even that. We took a very specific type of banana
Yeah, and cultivated the shit
and
out of it.
bred the hell out of it.
Yeah. Like, it's bananas, corn,
I mean, technically apples, but we were just like, we can probably eat these.
bananas, corn, beans, and certain berries, I believe. Like, the variants that we currently eat in this day and age did not exist, like, going back a couple hundred years.
I mean, blueberries and strawberries and stuff like that did.
Corn. Best both food groups and best god. Anyway. Blah, 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 sneak attack, blah, uppercut. sending the thug into the air unconscious. Blah blah. Okay, so bones are definitely breaking with some of these punches. Blah blah blah. Palm strike to the chest, sending the thug flying. This time unconscious. Also, the reason why it's hard to evolve past shock, before I get off topic again, is it's sort of like why bacteria has a really hard time evolving out of alcohol death. It's really hard to evolve past something that kills you. Death is extremely difficult to evolve away from. Anyway. Are you all here, or have I lost you all?
I'm still
I'm
here.
still here, but
We're here.
the show's
We've only
done in
got
4
4
minutes,
minutes,
so.
but we're here.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, blah 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 fight scene, blah blah. I mean, the fight scene isn't bad. I'm just saying blah blah because I want to get through it all.
Yeah, like
Understandable.
sorry, we just don't care about your fight
Yeah,
scene.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, no. The fight scene, for all intents and purposes, is well orchestrated.
Yeah, it's not too detailed, but it has enough to give me an idea of what's going on.
I was gonna say it's certainly better than most. I'd say out of all the fight scenes we've read on this show,
I mean,
this
honestly,
is far and away the best.
if I have to be honest,
Exclusively this show.
I'm actually going to add this to the list of fics that I recommend people read. Not as a I approve this, but as a wow, this was way better than I thought it would be. People should check this out if they liked it.
Maybe give it a shot. Let us know.
I was gonna say,
how
you
it
know
goes.
what? I would certainly say let's bring this back Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, sure, I'll put it on for Tuesday.
Sure.
Because it's rare that we find something that doesn't make our eyeballs bleed.
This is true.
Okay, so the little girl they were trying to kidnap was Kuno.
Never mind. This is trash.
I'm 50-50 about this. Okay, so clearly the thugs were disguised yokai. Okay, fine. Blah blah. He stopped what he saw he was staring at. Mill Gardens, 7 thugs, their hands uncovered, showing skin with nails. There was a young man, clothing was torn up, heavy cuts, yet he was still fighting a large man with a club without a weapon. Okay, yeah, blah blah blah. Ichigo 1v1ing a thug, blah blah blah. Coughing
Okay, well,
up blood, recovered. Large man made his way over. Scream, Kuno, the princess. Sprang forward, black and red energy, blah blah blah. Punching the man, sending him flying. Saving Kuno again. She scooped up Kuno possessively. Blah. Princess Savior had passed out from a combination of blood loss and exhaustion. All believable. Okay, let's heal him in thanks. Fair enough. Blah blah blah. White substance bubbled over his wounds and healed them. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have an easier job than I thought. Let's bring him out. Okay, Ichigo conversation with his hollow. Before you get angry, let me talk to you. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
Old man wasn't who he thought he was. Let me finish before you try and pull any shit. The old man was actually a different set of powers and not the Shinigami ones. You see, I know that your dad was Shinigami, but I don't think he told you anything else. Well, I'm just going to tell you outright, Ichigo, then. It was your Quincy powers. I mean, kudos to the author for actually keeping the hollow in character in terms of speech patterns. Blah blah blah.
Till the expo dumped here.
No, he's still keeping it in there. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Goat Shin was in the human world hunting a powerful hollow, which was actually one of Aizen's experiments. They were fighting and your mother stepped in, baiting the hollow in close to deliver a killing blow. However, to do that, she got bitten by the hollow and was infected by its energy. I never quite understood that part, honestly. Yeah, the crossover part has finally revealed itself to us. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the info dump I'm 50-50 on, but honestly, it kind of needed to happen because no one else was
Yeah.
going to tell him this shit.
Yeah, because what's been happening is he's been doing this, it seems, almost purely from the Bleach side.
Right.
So it looks like it looks like he's kind of decided, okay, the High School DxD guys probably don't know much here, so I'll give them a quick rundown on this shit.
Right. Blah, blah, blah. I am Zangetsu. I lacked on the Shinigami powers, and it resulted in me. The hollow was Zangetsu. Let me get this straight. Why would you try to take me over? I wanted to make sure you didn't die. Also to push you. Blah, blah, blah. Quincy bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. Every point he made was valid. After all, every other person that seemed to go Bankai never had their energy change colors. Quincy's being able to absorb energy. Okay, blah blah blah. Actually, reasonable explanations for everything. Blah blah blah. Work with his king. Blah blah blah. Okay, introductions between D times D-verse and Ichigo. You know, spin my temple, your temple, my temple. Give me your name, peasant. My name is Ichigo. Well, Kurosaki-san, just call me Ichigo. Very well, Ichigo. Thank you for saving my daughter. Blah, blah, blah. Better guards. Blah, blah, blah. Are you not human? What sort of yokai are you? What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Shinigami and Hollows. Oh, Shinigami. I do believe I've heard of them. Aizen. Yes, Aizen. I remember hearing about him. Yes, those are the Shinigami. Blah, blah, blah. Advertising their powers. Yes, I was from Karakura. You've been asleep for 2 days. What? I've been asleep for 2 days. Is there something wrong? Yeah, I just missed all my job interviews. Damn it. Hey, Ichigo, do you have combat experience? Yes, I have combat experience. Do you want a job guarding my daughters?
Why does he care about a job? He knows how much money he has.
Probably because he just wants something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
He also mentioned he wanted a job.
Yeah,
'cause
Ichigo's
it
that
was
sort of
something
person.
to do.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, all the characters are in character. It makes sense for their motives. I mean, everything's still fine. Nothing's been ridiculous so far. Habada blah, blah, blah. What have I told you, Kuno? Blah, blah, blah. Ichigo Kurosaki. Do you know who this is? I have information. Blah blah blah. It's about Kurosaki. One of the most powerful Shinigami in existence. Yeah, okay. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna keep him around totally. He laid in bed. Well, time to learn Keto, I guess. I mean, honestly, as far as stories we have covered goes, it's actually fairly good.
Yeah. I certainly don't mind coming back to this next week.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'll say this much.
It seems a bit long, so we might not.
Yeah.
I accelerated through a large portion.
Compared to the last one we had, though, where it was introducing Ichigo and Yasaka.
I mean, it's certainly no
This one's
do me
far
wrong,
better.
but it's no do me wrong, which is obviously the standard I hold for this fic, because it's the same section, and do me wrong is like the flagship of this section. But you know, I give this the seal of approval. Honestly, the summary is absolute garbage, and the title is cringy as shit. But overall, the actual story itself isn't that bad. So, kudos to you, author.
Yes, kudos to you.
Yeah, very long-winded. I realize I make stories sound a bit more long-winded than they actually are due to me going blah, blah, blah. Well, that's more or less because I really don't have anything to say, and it's just like actually normal plot progression and dialogue. So there's both
It's
not much
okay.
to make fun of. It's like when an actually good scene shows up in a B movie, and you all stop heckling it and just watch the scene because there's actually nothing to heckle about in it.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, this is not heckleable. Good job.
I mean, it is heckleable.
You have to understand
still, it's
also
just,
that we have had so much
No,
trash.
no, no,
we
no.
don't
I
even
mean,
know.
I mean the scene. You're just like, oh, hey, it's a good scene. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, in all things considered, I definitely recommend everyone actually goes and reads the first chapter. I mean, I certainly will, because it actually seems like a decent fic. We'll see what happens from now that we've touched both universes together. I mean, like I said, I was a bit on the fence with that author's note, and the summary was fairly garbage. So we'll see how it goes. I was definitely expecting different things from the actual story due to both the summary and the author's note, and that's something we've talked about quite often here. Is your summary is supposed to give your readers the impression of what to expect from the story, and if you have a cringy shit summary like that, people are gonna go into your story expecting cringy shit.
Yeah, although in the author's defense, at this point, it's more of a it's a learned behavior to cringe at this because of the sheer amount of bad stories that have a summary like this.
Well, no,
So-
I mean, even back when I didn't read fan fiction, I was just reading straight up books. I would go to Barnes and Noble, and there would be stories I would
Yeah.
put down because the summary was just so freaking cringy.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
but yeah.
absolutely.
No, listen
Here's-
here. I worked there, so
Here's the problem
have
with
an
that
idea.
is that Barnes novels don't have the same character restrictions that an online website has. So that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
Does mean though that when you find someone with a creative summary, I would love to see what they do with an actual book. It can make a like a back page summary. I would love to see that.
Well, see, that's the thing, though, is there's a lot of books in Barnes & Noble, a shit ton of them, in fact, that have back page summaries, and you just sit there and read the summary, and you're like, this is both uninteresting and absolute cringe simultaneously.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh, hey, this is some neat cover art. Then you read the back of the book and you think, that sounds fucking stupid. You put it back.
yeah, no, there's quite a few books like that in the store, especially the store I was in.
Generic
Jesus
zombie apocalypse survival with romantic subplot but betrayal afoot?
To be fair though, I would read a book if that was actually its summary.
Well,
Because
see,
that means we've got someone poking fun.
you see that is the thing though. It is the refuge in the outlandish, I believe, or something like that. However that saying goes. That's half the YA section.
Jeez.
Only half?
Well, see, the other half is the blue-eyed, blonde-haired white hero will save the day? Will he get the girl of his dreams? But what happens when his rival comes back from his childhood?
Plot twist. The rival was the main character all along. You were reading from the bad guy's perspective.
Okay,
And the bad guy still gets
that
the girl.
would actually be an interesting story.
I was gonna say, like, you think that they have that kind of credibility to them, Max? These young adult novels that I've read are just absolute fucking garbage.
We should probably end the stream. It's 9:09.
I mean, yeah.
I actually gotta
Yeah.
go take a shit. So yeah.
Alright,
I actually want to stop before you find more trash.
Anyway, lads, thank you all for joining us. Tell your friends, tell your family. You saw how fun it was when we had 10 people in here. What about 20? So, tell people about this stream. Get people to watch this stream. I don't know, fucking hold a gun to them or something. And not a real gun. Just,
No,
a
no,
water
don't
gun.
do that last one.
Spray them with a spray bottle. Filled with acid.
All right, Joker.
Anyway, have a good night, everyone. We'll be back here Tuesday, or you can catch the full archive on our YouTube page of last week's Friday. Anyway. As always, lads, There's always more, and it always gets worse.